You ever witness someone doing something they were never expected to be good at and they end up being brilliant at it? That's exactly what happened on an unassuming Tuesday night in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It was just past 9 p.m. when Marcus Lattimore pushed open the steel door to the dusty old storage room behind the logistics wing of Stratuscore Industries. Still wearing his faded navy blue coveralls with maintenance stitched across the chest, Marcus looked like he had just finished another long shift. His sleeves were rolled up, his forearms marked with the wear and grime of a day's labor. But there was a focus in his eyes, steady, deliberate, the kind you don't find in someone just clocking hours. This wasn't obligation. This was purpose. The building had long gone quiet. The buzz of the day faded, leaving behind the hum of a flickering fluorescent light and the distant rattle of a vending machine struggling to function. He weaved past crates of discarded wires, defunct monitors, and forgotten machinery parts, moving with the ease of someone who'd walked this path 1,000 times. And in the back corner sat a corpse of a machine sorting unit Model 7 abandoned months ago and declared unfixable by engineering. But Marcus wasn't like most people. He wasn't deterred by broken things. In fact, he was drawn to them. As a kid, he'd disassembled anything he could find: radios, microwaves, even his uncle's old lawnmower. Not for fun, for understanding. And when most people grow out of that urge, Marcus never did. That's why, in this forgotten corner of a billion-dollar logistics company, with no blueprint and no paycheck motivating him, Marcus had been tinkering. Night after night, in silence. He spread out his tools with surgeon-like precision: a voltmeter, a soldering pen, a socket wrench, and a flashlight with a cracked lens. Next to him, a flattened cardboard panel covered in a hand-sketched circuit diagram. Not neat, but brilliant. He slid under the rusted housing of the machine, his breath steady. "Come on," he muttered, gently nudging a worn coil back into position. The machine groaned, then fell silent again. He smiled. "Stubborn, huh? I like that." What Marcus didn't know was that across the building, Sebastian Cole, CEO of Stratuscore, had just returned unexpectedly. He'd left his laptop behind, a rare slip in his usually calculated routine. His private car idled outside while he marched across the empty halls of his empire. But something made him stop. The light from the storeroom was on. Strange. He approached slowly. Curiosity, suspicion, confusion. Peeking around the edge of the door, he saw a figure crouched beside the long-dead 7C sorter. Hands methodical, confident, calm. No instruction manual, no hesitation. It was artistry wrapped in labor. And then, the impossible happened. The robotic arm sputtered to life. It lifted a package, scanned it, sorted it precisely, and dropped it in the right bin. Again, and again. Sebastian Cole blinked. That machine had been written off. Deadweight. And yet, there it was, borne it by the engineers, but by a man in work boots. He didn't interrupt. He just watched. Because what he saw wasn't a fluke. It was clarity. Talent raw and rare. Marcus, still unaware he had an audience, spoke to the machine like an old friend. "Voltage steady. Let's see how you handle live input." He tapped a wire in place and flipped a switch. The sorter rattled, then glided into motion. It was smooth. Quieter. Better. Only when he looked up did he see the CEO standing in the doorway. "Mr. Cole," Marcus said, startled. Sebastian stepped in, calm. "Didn't mean to sneak up on you." Marcus stood quickly, wiping his hands on a cloth. I wasn't breaking protocol or anything, sir. I was just..." "You fixed that?" Marcus hesitated. "Yes, sir. Been working on it for a while." "Off the clock." Sebastian stepped closer, peering at the machine. "Engineering said it was unfixable." Marcus shrugged. "They probably had more important things to worry about." "You an engineer, Mr. Lattimore?" "No, sir. Not on paper. I studied electrical systems at Indiana Tech. Made it 3 years in. Then my mom got sick. Had to drop out. Bills piled up. Never made it back." Sebastian took another step. Studied the way the tools were laid out. The circuit map. The rewired housing. Then he looked Marcus in the eye. "Would you be willing to show this to the engineering team tomorrow?" Marcus's eyes widened. "Me? You? Can you be here at 8 a.m.? I'm usually here by 7. "Good. I'll have someone cover your shift. 5th floor conference room. See you then." Marcus nodded slowly. "Yes, sir." And just like that, The CEO walked out. Marcus didn't sleep that night. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling of his modest apartment above a corner laundromat, replaying the encounter over and over. Was he in trouble? Was this a trap? Or was it something else entirely? By dawn, he was dressed, pressed, and waiting in his old pickup outside Stratascore's headquarters. At 8:01 a.m., he stood in front of a room full of engineers, none of whom knew who he was. Sebastian didn't waste time. "This is Marcus Lattimore," he said. "He's not on our engineering team. He works in maintenance. But last night, he brought a machine back online that your department declared unrepairable." Marcus swallowed, then spoke. "The 7C sorter had a fried board, misaligned sensor, and outdated software. I rebuilt the interface using old tablet hardware, rewired the signal path, and calibrated the scan cycle manually." The room was still. Then a voice challenged him. "You pulled all that from spare parts?" asked Trevor Blaine, a senior engineer with a sharp jaw and sharper attitude. "Yes, sir. After hours. Just a little at a time." Trevor scoffed. "That unit's obsolete." "Obsolete doesn't mean useless," Marcus replied. "It means no one tried hard enough yet." Sebastian played a video of the machine in action. Gasps. Silence. Then murmurs of disbelief. "I want every one of you to talk to Marcus for the next hour," Sebastian said. "Then I want recommendations on how we can apply what he did across our floor." As the engineers began crowding around Marcus, asking questions, Trevor stewed in silence. He didn't like being shown up by a janitor. He wasn't alone. Some were curious, but others poked holes. Trevor led that charge. "You rerouted a triple relay using wire from a desk fan." Marcus nodded. "And a burned-out HVAC controller. None of that's in any manual." "I know. That's why it worked." Laughter from the younger engineers. But Trevor wasn't done. "You don't have a degree, no certifications, and yet you think you can teach us something?" Marcus didn't flinch. "I'm not here to teach. I just saw something broken and wanted to fix it." Sebastian stepped in. "So we should ignore results because they came from someone who doesn't wear a tie?" Silence. Then Elise Hahn, a young systems coder, spoke. "He didn't just fix it. He made it better. I checked the pathways myself. They're cleaner than factory default." Trevor shifted uncomfortably. Sebastian turned to Marcus. "How do you feel about joining the team upstairs?" "Trial basis." Marcus hesitated. "You'd really do that?" "I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for us. We need people who see what others don't." And so Marcus Lattimore, maintenance technician, became Marcus Lattimore, systems development lead, taken a temporary trial. But not everyone welcomed him. Trevor kept throwing jabs masked as questions. "Interesting theory. But is it scalable?" Or, "What textbook is that from, Lattimore?" Marcus never fired back. He just kept working. Quietly. Relentlessly. And people noticed. He rewrote code that had stumped engineers for weeks. He mapped wiring with such precision, others began asking for his opinion. Interns shadowed him. Elise championed him. And slowly, the floor shifted. Until one Thursday, Sebastian gathered everyone. 2 machines. One original. One Marcus rebuilt. Marcus's outperformed across every metric. "This is our new benchmark," Sebastian said. "Lead M. Lattimore." Trevor objected. "Isn't this moving too fast?" Sebastian shut him down. "Sometimes brilliance doesn't wear a suit. And if we wait for credentials to validate talent, we'll miss those fixing things behind the scenes for years." Applause broke out. Elise stood and said firmly, "He earned that title." And for the first time, Marcus stood tall, unapologetic. Weeks passed. He stayed humble. Still lived in the same apartment. Still fixed his own pipes. But the way people looked at him changed. And more importantly, the way he looked at himself changed. Corporate noticed. Reports came in from across the region. 5 other distribution centers implemented his designs. Downtime dropped by 23%. Efficiency rose 31%. His name made it into company memos. And finally, a badge arrived. Marcus Lattimore, lead systems technician. He didn't throw a party. He went back to the storeroom. Same flickering lights. Same rattling vending machine. But now, a new plaque on the sorter. Refitted by M. Lattimore, March 2025. Sebastian appeared behind him. They wanted to move it. I told them no. Not everything needs to shine to matter. Marcus looked at the machine, then at his hands. "I never expected this." "Neither did I," Sebastian said. You changed how this company sees people. Then he added, ever think about finishing your degree? Marcus smiled. Don't need a paper to know I'm good at what I do. Sebastian extended his hand. But if you ever want it, I'll pay for it. And in that moment, surrounded by forgotten parts and a machine everyone gave up on, Marcus realized something bigger. He hadn't just fixed a sorter. He rebuilt belief in himself, in overlooked people everywhere, in the truth that brilliance comes in many forms. So if you're reading this wondering if you belong, remember Marcus. And keep showing up. Keep building. Because someone is always watching. And your moment will come. Make it count.